Okay, here we have a used e-cigarette, it's a disposable version. It's pretty standard. I'm going to take this apart and have a look what's inside. I'm going to take the butt end off first. Just pulled the end off, this metal cap. There's a white cap on this end that I could have taken off, but I've left that. Here we're going to take this. As you can see, there's kind of like a cotton wool bud. This is a reservoir that holds the liquid, and up the centre there's a tube. I'm going to pull the cotton wool off, and there you can see a tube up the middle. This is kind of like a weird heat resistant tube. It's almost like something you might find in an electrical light or a heater to join wires together. It's quite crude. The heater element, or the atomizer itself, just appears to be a piece of wire wrapped around a strange looking elastic. It must be heat resistant. I'm going to take this tube off. It's stuck on there or something. It's also wet, so that's the nicotine liquid. I hope I don't get any nicotine poisoning. It should be alright, never mind. So just unscrew this. This fitting is actually an electrical connection. You can see the outer shield is a negative. I think the inner is a positive. There's also a hollow pin, so it'll allow some airflow through. I'm going to try and pull this tube off. I'm not entirely sure what material this is. If anyone knows, feel free to tell me. I have seen it in use before. I hope it's safe. There we go. And then here, I'm sorry about the quality of the video, we're out of focus, but it's actually a wire wound around what looks like elastic, but it must be heat resistant, and there's about 8 or 9 winds around there, and they're just connected to the terminals of the screw fitting. So the cigarette end has a cap on the end. There's an LED behind there that lights up, make it look authentic. You can see the orange LED mounted on what looks like a microphone. Very small microphone with 3 connections on it. I don't think it is a microphone, but it could be. I'd have thought some sort of pressure sensor. And at the other end we've got the fitting, which the power is sent down to the heater element or the atomizer. I've just used my multimeter to measure the voltage here. To read the voltage you have to blow in one end and read the other. And I got about 3.2 volts, so my battery's flat. So I think they're about 4.2 volts of lithium. So that's what I'm guessing there is. So I'm going to try and get this unit out. Right, I just started peeling this back and managed to cut myself on the razor sharp metal. So I wouldn't recommend doing this, bit of health and safety issue there. I'm going to have to go and put a plaster on that. There we go. Surprisingly a lot of blood's coming out, so try and keep blood off everything. I'm going to continue to try and remove this. Very, very small wires, considering that there's a heat element at the other end. You'd think that they'd need to be a little bit thicker to carry the current, but it must be quite efficient. I'm just going to try and pull this out. Here it comes. And this looks like a lithium battery. It's silver wrapped. A bit smaller than a Treble-A, I think. But obviously much higher power density than standard AAA battery. And there it comes. So it's definitely a nice lithium pack. The yellow insulating tape, I guess, is to stop it getting snagged and shorting out, exploding. So I'm guessing at this other end, this container must be a pressure sensor, looks like a microphone. And there must be a chip in there. It must be a custom built sensor for the job. It's got a pressure sensor in it so it can tell when you're sucking. It must have a charge controller in it to keep the battery safe, and it has a switch in order to switch on the heater element. I think they've made use of an old microphone container and fit everything inside. I think the flashing light is telling me that my battery's flat. That's everything. All the important parts are in that contained unit. Then you've got your battery, and up the other end is simply the power output. So really quite a simple device, very clever. I've recently started using these. I can't say I highly recommend them because I don't recommend that anyone smokes or that anyone takes up smoking, but I've actually found them better and more enjoyable to smoke than a real cigarette, and I'm really glad that I've tried one out and experienced it for myself. I'm a bit worried about the lithium battery, but I don't think anyone's lithium batteries on their mobile phones have exploded, or anyone's laptops. If they have, let us know, but I think they're pretty much safe to use now everywhere.